Bonjour and welcome in all. Today I'm going to teach you how to install Zorin OS 18, particularly Zorin OS 18 Core. But I'm also going to teach you how to go a little bit pro with it on the cheap. So stay tuned for that. But first I must preface, please go watch the video popping up here where I go over the pre-install steps for dual booting Linux and Windows, as it will be applicable during this installation. And also, while you're at it, why not check out my Ventoy video, how to install Ventoy, so that you have a nice, convenient way to whack this ISO onto a bootable thumb drive. And after you're done that, come back here and I'll show you how to install Zorin OS. But first, you must know how to download it. So let's go find out how to do that. To download Zorin OS, simply go to your favorite browser of choice. I'm using Zen today. Go to zorin.com. On that page, you'll find a Download Zorin OS button. Click that. And now you get to select your edition of Zorin OS. They want you to get Zorin OS 18 Pro, which comes with some quote premium quote desktop layouts, although with the right GNOME extensions you can 100% recreate those on your own. The professional grade software and the advanced productivity tools and everything like that, all easily gettable in the software center individually after you install the OS. So unless you want to pay the almost $80 Canadian to support the project, keep on scrolling. Now you get to the stuff that most people are going to use, and the one we want is called Core. It says for basic use, but you can do everything under the sun with it, so don't let that scare you. Just click on Download, and it'll take you to a pop-up that asks you to subscribe to their newsletter. You can do that if you want, or you can be like me and go down to the bottom of that and hit Skip to Download. Now it will start downloading real soon. It's actually got instructions on the right-hand side of that page on how to install it, but you're already here, so yay. Once that file's done downloading, throw it onto a disk or a thumb drive. Like I said earlier in the video, I recommend using Ventoy, but you can do whatever you want to get it on there. Restart your computer, boot from that, and you're ready to install. So let's go do that now. Welcome to the Zorin installation. From the welcome window that pops up here, select your language from the left. I apologize if it looks a little small right now. I'm about to fix that, but I can't do it from here, so bear with me. From this welcome window, after you select your language, you are given the option to try Zorin OS by tapping this button here, or directly installing Zorin OS by clicking this button over on the right side. I am going to go into Try Zorin OS just so I can adjust display settings so that you guys will be able to actually make out the text on the screen. So I'm going to click that button. Welcome to the Zorin desktop. This is where you can poke around in Zorin before you install, try out everything you need, get a feel for the layout and all the buttons and everything. But we're not going to worry about that right now. We're going to install Zorin, so click on the Install Zorin OS 18 icon doubly in the top left corner on the desktop there. Select your language from the left-hand side and hit Continue. Select your keyboard layout. I am using English US, so it's fine by me. Once you've selected yours, click Continue. Updates and other software. This will download updates while you're installing Zorin OS. That's very handy. I love it when distros do that. It saves a lot of time afterwards, so I can start actually enjoying the distro right away instead of waiting 20 years for updates to happen. I'm also going to install third-party software for graphics and Wi-Fi hardware and additional media formats. This will ensure that I have good drivers for audio and video, as well as I'll be able to play all audio video files that I love and other things without much hassle. And this last option, don't participate in census. If you don't want to provide a little analytics stat, they say it's anonymous. They just want to know how many people are actually using their distro. You don't have to send that in. You could click on don't participate. If you don't mind sending that little tidbit of information to let them know that you're using their distro, leave that box unchecked. It's fine. I know a lot of us have switched to Linux to avoid telemetry, so I'm going to leave that as don't participate for now and click continue. Now it's preparing the drivers and everything else I have checked here. Now comes the fun part, the installation type. Are we installing alongside the Windows Boot Manager, a la easy dual boot mode? Are we installing Zorin by itself? If you choose to install it by itself, it'll erase the entire disk. If there's anything on there like Windows or other Linuxes or files, they'll be gone if you select the erase disk option. And for something else, that's if you want to do a fancy-dancy custom partition scheme. For our intents and purposes, we're going to click on Install Zorin OS alongside the Windows Boot Manager to set up a nice Windows dual boot. Now we're going to click Install Now. This is a little confirmation that we're going to write changes to the disks. If you're good with that, click Continue. Select your time zone. Mine is correct, but if it's not, you can type it in here and it'll appear. Say you're in England, you would just select wherever you are. I'm going to go with Toronto, that's fine. Alright, and then you click continue on the right here. Enter your name and your user info and your computer's name and your passwords. A nice easy password will do. There we go. If you want to log in automatically, check this box. I don't recommend it though. It leaves you open to be a little bit more insecure, and that's no good. I like to leave mine unchecked, but you do you. Require my password to log in, obviously. And then hit continue. And now we play the waiting game. Depending on your internet speed and computer's grunt, this may take a little while, so sit back, relax, grab yourself a coffee. Life is good. And I'll see you in just a moment when this is finished. And once the installation has finished, you have the option of continuing testing in the live environment by clicking this button, or restarting now and going into your brand spanking new Zorin OS installation proper. So, hit this button, pull your USB drive or your installation media of choice out, hit enter when prompted, and I'll see you on the other side. Welcome to Zorin OS. Or at least the login screen so far. Click on your username. Before you put in your nice easy password though, pop on down to the bottom right hand corner of the screen. Click on that and select Zorin Desktop Wayland. The default session is X11 and quite frankly, Wayland is better. Yeah, I said it. Anyway, once you do that, sign in with your nice easy password. Welcome to Zorin OS 18. We can take the tour. It'll be pretty quick. Why not? You can open the menu to launch apps by clicking on the Z over here in the bottom left where the start menu usually is. It looks like a very familiar start menu style app menu. Now, one thing I will gripe about right away is that when you push the super key or Windows key for most people, you don't get the menu, you get this, because Zorin is based on the GNOME desktop. And if you push it twice, that's how you get to your apps. So, I don't know, the whole start menu thing kind of seems pointless for people who use keystrokes. But I digress. Next, you can change up your appearance by launching Zorin Appearances. You can also find that on the app menu over here, down at the bottom. What this will allow you to do is choose different styles. So you got a bit of a modern-ish style. You can go back to having big long bars with text in them. And it doesn't really do anything to the menu. You could go this way with everything in the middle. Instead of having the start menu, it does just go right into apps when you click on that, which you might find more handy. You never know. Or you could have just plain Jane GNOME desktop. You know it, you love it, or you hate it. You never know. I'm going to put it back to its default for now. You can also get other themes, theoretically, if you purchase Zorin OS Pro. I will warn you, though, all of those themes are possible via GNOME extensions, so really only get Pro if you want to support the development of Zorin OS. Moving on to themes, you can change it to dark mode, which I love, or you could change it to a mode that switches between light and dark at certain times of the day. So first thing in the morning, it'll turn light, and then at night, it'll turn dark, which is kind of cool. You can change your colors, all the fun stuff. Effects, these are pretty cool. I like jelly mode. You can wobble your windows. Everyone likes wobbling their windows. Is pretty cool. Or you could use desktop cube. So instead of this, you'll get this. So it kind of creates a cool 3D effect. Is pretty cool. And of course, you can use the spatial window switcher, which changes alt tabs from looking like this, boring, to looking like this. A bit more of a cover flow thing going on, which I like. Desktop and Windows and everything else you can play with to your heart's content. Moving along, you can connect your online accounts. We're not going to do that right now. You could link your phone with Zorin Connect. That's pretty cool. Not going to do that now either. And you can install apps by launching the Software Center. Boom. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. In fact, I want to be in here right now because our next step is to make sure our system is foolproof. We won't be able to break it no matter how hard we try. So let's go get Timeshift. Click on it. Click on install. Put in your nice easy password. It's going to install. Hit open. Put in your nice easy password again. I do believe Zorin OS installed as an ext4 file system. So we would use rsync. Hit next. Yep, there it is, ext4. This is our main drive, so we would hit next. Choose our frequency. I like to do a few daily. I like to do a few hourly and every boot. That way I always have a safe space to come back to if I screw something up. Love it. You can change it to however you'd like. Don't back up the home folder or /root. Just back up system files. If you back up home folder, your disk will fill up so fast. Timeshift should really only be used for extremely important system files so that if you make changes to the system and stuff breaks, you can go back to having it working. For your home folder, I would recommend another backup solution like using Duplicati to back up to Backblaze or something. Since that's good, let's hit next and finish. You're all set up. Your snapshots will happen automatically, and you don't even really have to think about it, but just for our initial one, let's hit create. It'll take a bit, and then we'll have a lovely, lovely point to restore to, just in case we screw anything up during the next few steps. And there we go, that's good to go. If you break anything and need to restore your system to working condition, click on Restore, load the point, and immediately restart, and you should be good to go. But for now, we're done in here, so let's close this and go back, because now we're gonna get you up and gaming with Steam. So again, in the Software Center, type in Steam in the search, click on Steam. We don't want the flat hub version. We don't want the flat pack. We want to get the system package version. So click on the little down arrow below install and select the Zorin OS apt version of the package. It'll say Steam installer, and then click install. Once this window pops up configuring Steam installer, just hit next. And now you can click open to start the Steam installer. It's going to pop up with a confirmation. Just click install. While Steam setup is installing, let's go back and find another piece of software that we are going to want to be using in a moment. Proton Plus. For this one, we do want to install the FlatHub version. In fact, there only is that version. So click install. We can ignore Proton Plus for a moment. Let's log into Steam using our QR code and/or password. Now, we can immediately close Steam by going to the bottom right by the clock into the system tray, right-clicking, and exit Steam. The reason we have to do this is because we're about to install a new version of Proton, and it's going to ask us to restart Steam anyway so we can load it. So, back in the Software Center, open Proton Plus by clicking the Open button. Once that's open, we can close the Software Center. And also we can close the tour, because we're done with that. Inside Proton Plus, click on Proton GE. Click on the download arrow button on Proton GE latest. Let it install. And do the same for the latest numbered version, which usually appears right underneath that. Now we can close Proton Plus. Now let's reopen Steam. You can do that by clicking the menu and typing in Steam. or by hitting the Windows key or super key. Since we're in Linux, we're going to use proper terminology, twice. And you could scroll to find Steam, or you could type it in. And then from the top left in the actual Steam menu, click that and click Settings. Go to Downloads. At the very bottom of Downloads, we want to allow background processing of Vulkan shaders. This may use up a little bit of CPU resources and GPU resources at the beginning when you start up a game, but it'll allow you to start up your game immediately instead of waiting 20 minutes for Vulkan shaders to compile when you try launching it. It's very handy. Turn it off if it causes you any problems. Now, we want to click on Compatibility on the left. As you can see up here, the default compatibility tool is Proton Experimental, which is Valve's own version of Proton. It's pretty good, but we just installed a slightly more enhanced version from Glorious Eggroll called Proton GE Latest. We're going to click on that and restart Steam. Proton GE Latest has a few extra fixes for certain titles that go above and beyond what already exists with Valve's own Proton. So it may help you to run games a little bit better and more reliably. That's why I always switch to Proton GE in a new Linux distro. And with that, Steam is done. You're ready to game. Perf. Let's close that. Now it's time to go pro. Sort of. I'm going to show you how to install the extra apps that come with the paid version Zorin OS 18 Pro on the core without spending a dime. To do that, go into the Software Center, go into Search. Now we're going to start searching and installing all of the apps. So for video editing, we've got Kdenlive, don't worry, we can do this all at the same time. And we've also got PyTV or PTV, not really sure how to pronounce that. For image editing, we have GIMP and Krita. For 3D graphics, we've got Blender. Which is going to require us to have to type in our nice easy password. And for audio production, we have Ardour. And Audacity. For illustration, we have Inkscape. For professional desktop publishing, we got ourselves an app called Scribus. professional photography workflow, we've got an app called Darktable. Pro also comes with Planify. A note-taking and annotation tool called Journal++. It also comes with a couple pieces of CAD software, like FreeCAD, and LibreCAD. An ebook reader called Foliate. A time management tool called Pomodoro. And it's got a few other pieces of software that are just as easy to find as these. So just like that, we've pretty much proified ourselves with Zorin OS here. So make of that what you will. I hope this video was helpful to you. I'll see you in the next one. Happy Linuxing, everyone.